Hi everyone, my name is Katie. Welcome to my page Red's Stitchery, and let's chat about cross stitching. Today I would like to share with you my stitchy updates, what I've been stitching, and I have not a lot of whips to show, but a lot of progress. Also this week, it's the first week I skipped on my Angel of Summer by Lavender and Lace. I decided to give myself a rest at least for a week on that project because I just got tired, and when I tired of the project and I stitch because I have to, I don't put any progress, plus I don't stitch at all, so I rather take a break, get that moment when I miss the project, and then come back to it, and I'm sure it's just gonna fly from that point. So I'm taking a break from that big project right now. So I have quite a things to show you. I have 3 finishes and 2 progresses to share with you today, so let's begin. As I told you before, I do participate in Sandy Orton Designs SAL, so basically any design by Sandy Orton. We stitch, and once a month we post our before and after, and it's must to post. So for this month I put some progress in it, not much, but I haven't shown you this project in a while, so I thought I will do so. This is a gorgeous design, a rose by any other name. Designer is Sandy Orton, but the charts sold by Cooler's Classic Charts, Cooler Design Studio. You can easily find it on 123 Stitch. That's where I found mine. The previews on Cooler Design Studio charts never telling you how gorgeous the project gonna be in real life. So if you see something, just trust the process. This is so far I think my second project that I'm stitching by Cooler Design, and I learned from my first one. Just trust the process, just keep stitching, and it's going to be worth it. I started it from almost the middle. Basically I move on to this pink flower, and I decided to start with the biggest object that this kit has. It's the vase with roses, and here's my progress so far. I know the contrast between these, it's just too much. I am kind of worried too, but even in a preview, very pixelated preview, the contrast is very noticeable. Plus when elements around it added, I feel like it's gonna be so much better. So the last time I showed you, I believe the pink rose in the middle was stitched only, so everything else it's new that I added around it. I honestly thought I will finish this project in the summer, which is hilarious. It's end of August, and this is my progress so far. So no, this project gonna be probably follow me all the way till next spring, because in the SAL we cannot switch between the projects. If you grab one, you have to finish it in order to start a new one. So I will keep stitching this at least once a month and slowly moving on, and it is probably going to be finish of next year, but definitely not this year. I'm going to show you a little bit closely my stitching. I think definitely can tell they're all the flowers that are slowly forming around, and I enjoy this stitch. It's easy, and I think actually in the kit you're supposed to stitch with 3 strings of floss. I just double checked, yes, but even though it's 28 count, I do stitch it only with 2, just because stitching with 3, I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I'm gonna remind you, this is the fabric that I use. It's DMC linen by DMC 28 count, and you can find it either at Michael's or the Hobby Lobby, and it's very see-through. Like, I think you can definitely see my hand, right? My fingers. It's very liquidy. It's like linen. You can tell that the floss, it's not evenly like distributed, like the floss is different thickness, but that's for this project. I like it. It makes it look more vintagey. And also preview is stitched on some kind of, I should say shown, computer graphics shown on white background, and I decided to grab this warm cream, I don't know, ivory color, and I like how it makes it look more vintagey, more interesting. I think white was too, even though the whole project is cool tone, but it was too much cool tone, so I decided to mix it up and see what's gonna happen. I'm hoping by the end of the year I'll be able to finish the whole vase. The only thing that I'm kind of regretting of picking this fabric for this project is that there's going to be so many moments when unfortunately I will not able to just do a big step and continue stitching with the color. I will have to do so many floss fixings because again I cannot stretch my floss, it will be totally see-through. And some little moments I'm okay with it if it's like the length of it is like 1 cross, but when it's like 10 I'm not doing it. So yeah, I am slowly over here, and yeah, I'm doing my favorite thing when I am grabbing one color and just filling this color completely in the area that I'm stitched. So yep, I was just grabbing one color, stitching in all these flowers, grabbing in another color, stitching all the flowers, and so far it's working. But that's why you also see it's very like patchy and not finished in between, because I don't like, okay, I'm stitching only this rose now, then this flower, then the greens in between. No, I'm grabbing a color and I'm just going with it till like the hoop letting me, or like the object that I'm stitching is letting me. So this is the method I decided to go with this stitching, and so far it's working. I think there's only like maybe 10%. Let me open my saga to check it out. Oh, there's 16% stitch, so that's actually very motivating to keep stitching it. The total stitches, like the back stitching, which is going to be this lines right here, and the wording and crosses, altogether almost 16,000 stitches, and so far only 2,600 are stitched. But it's 16%. If I will be able to reach 25 by the end of the year, that's gonna be amazing. Next project I would like to share with you is Flowers of Paris by Dimensions. If you're new to my page or if you skip my previous videos, I recently posted 3 videos dedicated to my Dimensions stash, where I also showed you my finished projects, my current whips, and my entire Dimensions stash. So when I was filming it, it really helped me, motivated me to stitch more dimensions. And this is one of the reasons why I don't have much of a progress on the different whips, because it's so hard for me to put this project away. I've been stitching this year seasonally, so like technically I should slowly move on to the fall theme projects, but I cannot just put this one down. I keep stitching it. I'm obsessed, I'm in love, and I'm gonna show you all those little details right now. So here is the preview. You can find it, I think, like pretty much anywhere where you usually would buy cross stitch. But if you want to, there's also option on Black Ida, but I like this brown beige color more. And also better for my eyes, because my eyes really cannot concentrate on Black Ida. And so far, 33.5% is done. I know, it looks like madness because it's just comfortable for me to fix my floss this way, but look at this progress. First of all, I reach a corner, and so even 2. So here I reach the corner, and here I reach the corner, right? And then I think, let me double check, I'm almost positive. Yes. So all the back stitching on hydrangea is done. Back stitching on a vase is done, on this tulip, and I'm slowly moving on to the next one near it. And you can even see I started on the back stitching on the backdrop, like this one. So all of this is stitched, all of this is stitched, almost the whole word Paris is back stitched, and the third of the project is ready, and I am in love. Oh, the only thing I didn't do yet is French knots. They're going to be in some of the middles of the hydrangeas. And I finally stopped because I need to move my hoop so I can do further steps over here. And I'm kind of debating, should I do French knots now or should I wait? And I think I'm gonna wait because when I'm gonna move my hoop, I'm going to pinch it like right here. And I don't want to pinch those French knots. So I will keep them for last and slowly moving to the next object near. So this is like a little vase, like a little flower pot that almost done. And I currently stitching the flowers inside of it, like the rose is ready and the back stitch needs to be done. And look how amazing dimension is, because right now it's just like a pink blob like it's just group of pink stitching, but a minute I'm going to add back stitching, it's gonna turn to this gorgeous rose. Amazing. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave French knots for last, and it's time to move on the hoop. I'm going to just put it right here, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep stitching it. I'm probably gonna move it to the next year and finish it next year, but at least I want to try this fall, the end of the August, finish this little element and kind of like almost achieve 50%. This is gonna be probably like 45, but I kind of want to finish the flowers at least and more of this sign in the back. Yeah, I think that's the plan. It's very hard for me to stop stitching this project. I'm not that knowledgeable about dimensions, but this is one of the most comfortable charts I feel like Dimensions has. Not quite beginners friendly, but if you're like me and you're new into Dimensions, I feel like you're gonna love it. I do still use Saga just because it helps me to speed up the process, and with my huge collection of over 100 kits by Dimensions alone, I feel like speeding up on stitching, it's very important thing for me. Like I don't want to stitch one project forever. I want to finish as soon as possible because I have so many more that I want to teach. But there we go. The hardest part is done. It was the hydrangea with lots of color changing, and I feel like the rest of it is going to be just grabbing a color and stitching it row by row. Maybe a little bit confetti over here in the greens, but the rest looks super easy. Can I get over? It's just too pretty. It's just too pretty. No, it's just me. I honestly do think it's one of the prettiest Dimensions ever. I see people stitching it. It's not popular, but it's not quite as popular that you would think it would be. Anyway, highly recommended. I am absolutely obsessed. I cannot wait to stitch more on it, but I had to like separate myself from it because there's so many projects that are waiting for me. I also recently rewatched my summer plans, which I didn't really had them, but I was kind of like, okay, maybe I will do this and that, and I made myself a list of the things that I want to finish by the end of the summer. So soon stitchy summer stitching recap will happening, and then finally we're going to move on to those gorgeous colors of fall, which I am super excited, planning already what I'm going to stitch during this fall. Yeah, that's going to be just so exciting. I cannot wait. Anyway, here is my progress on Flowers of Paris, and again right now I'm 33.5% done, and hopefully I will find time to keep working on it till next year. Like, I think I will. I think I love this project so much, I will find time. In my previous stitch updates, I showed you minis by Axana Yova. This is Russian designer, and she sent me amazing packaging earlier this year, including some of her kits. And I decided I want to finish all the super small ones that I have. So Red Cardinal, super easy stitch. There was like half of a day. Like, I finished it super fast. There's a couple colors of red, a little bit black and yellow, and that's it. I think there was 3 colors of red, like the super dark one, regular, and a lighter red. Super enjoyable, super easy. I'm sad that I finally finished all of the minis. I do have a little bit bigger projects left that she sent to me, but stitching something this small, I don't know, it truly made me so happy. I wasn't expecting it. And another one, it's this, like a toy train. Again, and there it is. Isn't it cute? I love the colors of it. It's so pretty. The beads are so sparkling. I believe it's Preciosa beads, not like Mill Hill. I still haven't glued the backing because I don't know what to use for the glue. And there it is. I believe I finished all the smalls that I have in my stash. I will leave a link for her Boosty. Hopefully you will guys able to purchase some charts from there, but as far as I know, she's not really updating or working on Boosty. Which sad, because I think there's so many more projects that I would love to stitch, even though these were fun to stitch because they came with acrylic canvas, right? So you can see it's like plastic, perforated plastic, and the felt for the backing already cut perfectly to the size. So this is truly amazing, very enjoyable, very easy. You just, like, everything that you need is right here in one kit. And as you can see, if you watched the previous videos, I did the same thing. I did not use the floss for the beading, the white floss that was included. I was just grabbing the color that closest to the beads, and I feel like it looks way better if this way. It looks way better this way, and not to stitch it with white floss. Just for the fun of it, because I think they are just too pretty, I brought you the rest of the smalls. So I have a little like Christmassy collection going over here, right? There you go. Oh, so cute. And of course the mimosa. This one is my absolutely favorite. And then my very first one that I stitched by her, that she sent me the big box of presents, it's this turtle. Absolutely amazing. I do have a couple more kits left in my stash on plastic or wood canvas. Hopefully gonna see them in the future stitching updates. I am thinking I'll continue stitching them because it's such a joy. It's truly such a joy. You can find something similar on Etsy. Search it, Google it. If you never stitched on plastic or on wood canvas, highly recommend it. It's, I don't know, I absolutely love. I also love working with beads, and it's just too fun and very, very pretty. And I cannot wait to see it all on a Christmas tree with the lights on, and it's all sparkling and all of that. I think it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. And just in case, if you do want to support this designer and buy something from her on Boosty, but you like, okay, I will buy a pattern, but it's not gonna, like, on what should I stitch it because I don't have a plastic or wood canvas. Here is the bunny that I stitched by her last year, I want to say 2024. Yes, I think so. I just got a chart and I stitched on regular perforated plastic 14 count, and I cut it myself, and then I went to Hobby Lobby and I got a felt that was self-adhesive, and I stitched it myself. Of course, there's a huge difference between the laser cut acrylic form and the plastic that I cut myself, but you know, it still looks great. So here's some idea for you if you want to stitch something small but you don't want to stitch it in fabric. try perforated paper, or I'm sorry, perforated plastic or perforated paper, why not? And then I found this little, I think it's for the game cards, but I use for my plastic. And this bunny, need to find a right balance, now is on my shelf all year round, not only on Easter. And now let's move on to two bigger finishes that I have. Talking about dimensions, I finally finished the Welcome Each New Day. This is regular collection petite by Dimensions. I believe you can easily find it on Amazon, if not, definitely on eBay or Etsy. So the kit came with 14 count light blue Ida, needle, instruction, and floss. Shells, sea themed, all of it. As I said many times before, it's been calling my name, sea theme projects. So I started it last year in August, and I finally in August finished it this year. The only thing I substituted, it's fabric. So it's my first dimensions that I substituted fabric, and I did not stitch it on original Ida. I had some kind of light blue even weave in my stash, and that's what I picked. I'll show you a little bit close up the details. There's quite a lot of back stitching, and I think the most interesting part is the Welcome Each New Day. So each new day I stitch a regular back stitching, and the word welcome I tried my best to stitch with cording. Is that, no, it's not cording. Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of it. I said it so many times in my previous videos, so many times, and I completely... Anyway, so I forgot the word. I want to say cording, but I don't think it's cording. It's the method when you lay in your floss, and when with the second floss, so you work with 2 needles, you like catch it and you lay in it, so the letters are more like a handwriting, more flexible, more cursive, without very strong angles. Where here I did just a regular back stitch, so I think you can see a little bit of the difference. I'm not quite skilled in this, but I've tried it anyway, because only from trying we will learn new techniques. Over here you can see lots and lots of half stitching, like the sand, even in shells, like this shell right here. There's not even any crosses somewhere in places. That's how the chart tells you to do. There's also was crosses in 1 string of floss, 2, and then half stitch in 3 and 4 flosses. Quite a lot of back stitching. My lighthouse. Maybe I'll be able to fix it a little bit later. Anyway, here's the finish. Floss in this kit comes the way that you have to separate it yourself, and it was super easy. I think so far it was like the easiest process, where I have to separate the floss myself. And here is leftovers that, even though I'm saving dimensions floss, I'm not gonna save it because look how short it is. It's so short. But for this project it made sense, but for the future big projects it will not make any sense. Some of the colors are completely gone, like you see the blue, the gray almost gone, both of the blue, the dark and the lighter blue are gone, white completely gone. So lots of the colors I actually completely use. So if you will stitch it, be extra careful, because you might will not able to if you will stitch this project, be careful with your floss. Save all the ends, don't just throw them away, because you might will need them. Last year I found this frame in a thrift store, and I thought it would be perfect for this project, but I think it's too small, unfortunately. I mean, if I really try, obviously didn't stretch it, I just put it there to show you. If I really try, measure it the right way, it will fit just like perfect. And I do like how the frame looks bluish, green, darker sand colors. So the project inside is really popping. So I think I will try and attempt to put this project inside. What do you think? I don't want to buy any special fancy frame. I do think it's gonna look good. What do you think? I think I will try to put it in this frame. Sitting here playing with it just to try to fit it. I think I will have to like some of the stitching to wrap it around the cardboard. It's not quite going to fit at all. I think very important for the wording to have space. Like I do not want this W really touching the frame. It needs some air over here. So I think if I wiggle it a little bit better, I will find a sweet spot where it's gonna look great. So I'm gonna keep working on it, trying to fit in this frame. And hopefully in the next stitch updates, I will able to show you this FFO. And now to one more finish to show you, start and finish, because it's all happened during the week. It happened so fast that I don't have anything in between. I just have a start and finish. And again, hopefully next stitch updates I will be able to show you FFO, because I have an idea that I want to try. But this is Summer Cottage by Mill Hill. I love Mill Hill. I cannot stop buying it. Let me know in the comments if you want to see my full Mill Hill collection of my stash finishes and all of that in between. But this was my very first Mill Hill kit that I've ever bought, and that was 2 or maybe even 3 years ago. It was the time when I was learning more about cross stitch. I discovered there's a brand like Mill Hill, and I bought it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and see if I like it or not. But I bought it, it stayed in my stash, and then I stitched my first Mill Hill only later that year. It was 2 years ago, and it was actually Christmas Mill Hill. So even though it was firstly bought, it took me 2 years to stitch particularly this kit. I think my previous videos I showed you my idea that I want to stitch it on this 14 count Ida, also by DMC. And this one I will show you maybe on this piece, but it's like has this greenish, you cannot really see green, maybe over here, but it does have this variation of white, green, and blue. And as you can see, I chopped a huge piece over here. It was perfect because da-da-da-dum, as you can see, I picked the spot where the green was mostly on the bottom and then blue mostly on top. That way we have like greenish background on trees, on the ground, and blue background on top for the sky. This was marks for me that I know I'll tell you in a second what I'm gonna do with here. But here is the finish. Let's check out the finish. All these gorgeous beads, close up. Beautiful. Not the most beaded project I've ever done. I think the most beaded one would be a fairy garden that I finished this spring. Still one of my favorites, but this is still very pretty. But again, the stitching was so fast. I was so in the moment. I really do regret not to take a video or a picture in between, because I started stitching it from the middle. So I firstly finished this part of the house, then move on to this one, and I was basically stitching blue on blue, and I was really worried that it was a very bad idea, it's not gonna work out. I should stop now. I should restart it in a different type of fabric because kit comes on perforated paper that is brown, but I really didn't want the brown background. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. Here, yes, maybe even here, but the sky, I just don't know. I didn't like it, but I know why they went this way, for the pretty bigger contrast, and that totally makes sense. But when I start editing beads, especially these gray beads to the roof, the house finally stand out, and I stopped worried. I'm like, you know what, it's going to be great. Because when I was just stitching it, I'm like, okay, if anything, I will add some back stitching. Like I thought I will add some back stitching on a house right here, on a door, just to make it pop more. But I feel like since I've added beads, I don't need to do any additional back stitching. I did all the back stitching that required, like a little bit over here on a gate, on the light, on the windows, the vines that growing right here in the house, the birds, the cat, another bird right here. All the back stitching that was required by the kit, I did, but I also was planning to do additional back stitching, but when all the beads were put together, I decided that's not necessary. It looks pretty as it is. But also, if you look on the preview, you will see that the sky, I didn't stitch at all. So all of this blue stitching right here, or white stitching right here, I didn't do, because that was the whole purpose of me picking this fabric, to see this blue and white variation color on the fabric itself. So I felt like stitching, it wasn't really necessary. I thought to do it just for, so it doesn't look too empty right here, but at the same time, I think it looks okay. Like, I've decided I don't need it, I don't want to do it, and it looks good just as it is. And now, let me put this away, and I'm gonna kind of tell you about the leftovers. I don't know if you still can find this kit or not. Mill Hill being reposted lots of their old kits right now, so maybe. The only thing is, since I bought it 2 years ago, I do have those original buttons, the ceramic ones, so even if they will repost it, they're either going to remove the button all completely, or they're gonna add the button by just another company buttons, talking about the beads, and it's gonna be just fine. Hopefully, if they don't have it in stock, they will relaunch it, so more people will able to get this kit. I will say it was quite complicated, lots of single stitching or like group of stitching or very random confetti, but overall it was amazing. Now I want you to giggle because I was. I have a great opportunity to stitch at work. Not always, not much, but little by little I can. And when I was grabbing this project, because I knew I'm gonna stitch it at work, I grabbed it in the morning and didn't think it through. Because if you never stitched Mill Hills before, you have to separate the floss yourself. And then when I brought it to work, I realized I forgot my floss organizers. So I just went, found the cardboard, and I did this. It looks like complete madness, but you know what? It worked. It worked just fine. Nothing dramatic. And there's quite a lot of floss, because also the whole project stitched with 3 strings of floss. Of course, I didn't do it. I stitched only with 2, so I do have a lot of leftovers. Also, I had a really hard time of separating like this light gray and blue. On camera, you barely can even see. So, and white. For the longest time, I spent a good like 20 minutes trying to identify which color what. But there's 3 colors: light blue, white, and light gray. So that was not fun, but I did it. I was able to figure it out, and now I have just lots of floss leftovers, which is great. This floss I will keep, because first of all, it's DMC, second of all, it's very long cut, just like I like it, so it just makes sense for me to keep it and reuse it somewhere in the future. Also, Again, this kit wasn't big on beads, but look at this leftovers. Couple I lost, couple I dropped, but overall it's a very good amount of floss. I doubt it will be enough for like second stitch of the same project, but that's a lot of beads. That's what I also love about Mill Hill, is that the more Mill Hill you stitch, the more leftovers of the beads you have. And there's some beads are very, very popular. I see them almost every single kit, and that's truly one of the ways how I grew my collection of Mill Hill beads. It's by stitching Mill Hill and saving leftovers, and now I have quite a collection. There we go. There's that button, not very good painted, but now it's so rare that I decided I'm gonna keep it as it is. Yeah, finally, the very first Mill Hill kit I've ever bought, I finally stitched it. And I think I'm going to FFO it as a pillow. I have not done a pillow yet. I don't think it's gonna be very difficult. And I think when I'm going to finish it, I'm going to put this around it, around the pillow. Yeah, I think it's gonna be very, very cute. I do dream about those kind of like baskets that I would put in my room, and like depends on the season, the little pillow's gonna live there, because you can get so many frames, you know, you can buy so many frames, but then they just all lay there. And I guess there's some you can switch the projects in between, but some projects that just make sense in the frame, and some for some reasons you don't want it in the frame. So even though I truly love how this project turned out, I just don't see it in a frame. I don't want it in a frame. I want to make my first pillow, and that's what I'm gonna do. So this is going to be my first pillow. So hopefully next stitch updates I will able to show you at least 2 FFOs, which is dimensions. I'm gonna try to put it in a frame, and this Mill Hill I will try my best to turn it into a pillow. And now I would like to share with you some of the stitchy kindness. I want to say thank you so much to Ali. Please follow her on her Flosstube. Of course, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. She's teaching so much dimensions. I absolutely love it, and I've been watching her videos, and that'll help me really to get inspired to keep stitching on my dimensions, because again I have such a big collection. I keep collecting it, and she stitched so much that it's really inspiring. So please go check her out if you haven't subscribed yet to her. But after my dimensions video, she reached out to me and she said, hey, I have a couple that I don't think I will be able to stitch, and I want to gift it to, and I wanted to pass it to somebody who will enjoy it, stitch it. And I said, that's me. I will totally do it. So first of all, I want to show you this, which you probably will not understand what's going on, but this is Allurian Sorceress kit by Dimensions. Missing a preview, but that's totally fine. There's some charms. There's not all of them, and I think she bought it this way, so that's totally fine. I'm gonna enter the preview over here. In my stitchy stash by Dimensions, I showed you that I have a wizard from this collection, but I really want the sorceress because she reminds me of Yennefer from Witcher, that I am listening this audiobook right now, and I'm getting totally into this like universe of Witcher. I really truly enjoy it. Anyway, so that's why I wanted to her. So now I have a wizard, I have the sorceress, which I am planning to start with the sorceress because, to be honest with you, I just like the way she looks way more. Whatever charms I'm missing, I will might substitute it, might not, just leave it as it is. That doesn't bother me at all. There's some there, and that's gonna be just fine. So this is charts and charm collection. So basically just a chart and a charm. I already opened it, checked out the chart, and chart is so easy. You just grab in a color and you just filling it out. The only thing is it's going to be huge. I did not pay attention how huge these projects are. If I stitch it on 14th count, it's going to be 16 by 22 inches. It's going to be huge. For some reasons, I think because it comes in a small package, I thought it's going to be something like petite collection, but no, they are ginormous. And at first I thought I need to buy 16th count Ida to make it at least a little bit smaller, but what I think I'm going to try to do first before I buy anything else, because I'm really trying, no challenges, just a true wish that I am trying to do, it's really use what I have in my stash. And I think I do have a big cuts of Ida, and I'm going to attempt to color it myself, just try to make as plain black as possible, because these two projects, like the Wizard and the Sorceress, I do want to stitch on black Ida, even though it's not comfortable for my eyes, but these projects needs to be stitched on that. All the sparkle chronic, all the golden charms, it's all gonna pop, and it's just needed. So I'm going to try to color it, and if I fail, then I will have to buy it. But I really want to use what I have. I have a black dye for the fabric, I have Ida, and also, even if it's going to be 14th count that I'm going to dye, it's gonna shrink a little bit, hopefully, so it's not going to be those sizes. I'm really hoping it's going to be just a little bit smaller, because this is just huge. And Wizard is actually even bigger than that, like a couple inches either wider or longer, I don't remember, but Wizard is even bigger, so we'll see. I'm not gonna lie, I want to try to color the fabric sometime very soon, and at least do couple stitches. Like, I really want to start on this particular project. So Ali, thank you again so much for making my wish come true, my dream come true. I was truly hunting this chart down because I was dreaming about stitching her. I also received from her, I cannot believe it, it's just all of these projects been in my mind for so long, this gorgeous Mermaid by Teresa Winsler, which I'm so slow on stitching Teresa because her projects are so particular, but I keep collecting them, cannot let them go. I think she is an amazing designer. Not all of them I want to stitch, but lots of them. And now I have this gorgeous Mermaid. And for me, since I grew up in Russia, we have like a animated cartoon Mermaid, not Disney one. I don't know by who was animated, but I always watched it as a kid. And the whole vibe, dynamic, it really reminds me of that Mermaid cartoon, which, tell me you grew up in Russia. Our mermaid, she actually dies at the end because she doesn't want a ship to be broken, and she turns to the sea foam to save a prince that she loved, and prince actually never recognizing her or fall in love with her. He's choosing another lady who lied that it was her who saved him. So it's not a Disney story. It's a very tragic love story of sacrificing yourself for somebody that you love. So this whole project giving me that vibe. I think maybe because the colors are also very similar to that cartoon. If I will find some pictures or maybe even GIFs or videos, I will try to enter it here. But it's just really reminds me of that particular cartoon, the vibe, and this chart has been on my wish list, and now I have it. I'm so happy, like absolutely amazing. If you never seen Teresa Key, here we go, check it out. Blends, more blends, and more blends. I don't see any chronic. That's just weird. The mermaid would be without chronic. Oh no, never mind. It's all an instruction farther over here. So it tells you in each element where you will have to blend. Lots of petite stitch, what it looks like. Yeah, I wonder where the petite stitch is. Probably in her skin. Yes, her skin fully stitched in petite stitch. Well, that's gonna be fun. But I am so happy. Finally have this chart, and it's getting harder and harder to pick which one next I'm gonna stitch by Teresa. But I'm so slowly moving on Celestial Dragon. So if I will be able to finish him next year, it's gonna be a miracle. I honestly think I'm gonna stitch him next like at least 2 years. And one more is this Cabin Fever by Dimensions. It's on my wish list. You have no idea how many times I would add it to my cart, take it out, add it to my cart, take it out. Don't know why, something will always stop me. But at the same time, I always would think about this project. I love everything about it, the whole vibe, the color story, the deers, again, the reflection on the water. Everything about this project is absolutely amazing. So again, thank you so much, because I've been thinking about this project. The canva is missing, but that's not a problem. Look at these colors. Oh my goodness. Look at them. How beautiful. Look at this. I will have to all organize, and eventually sometime, maybe next summer, maybe who knows, maybe I'll just decide randomly do it in the middle of the winter. I don't know. But again, it's one of those projects that's been on my wish list, and finally I have it, and I'm so happy. Again, Ellie, thank you so much for making so many of my dreams come true. And one more little thing that I want to show you. Again, I'm really trying not to shop right now for any cross stitch, and really truly trying to stitch what I have, because I told you, I have too much, but I love my entire collection. I absolutely obsessed with it, but I also kind of like run out of space where to keep it all. So I'm really trying to finish as much as I can. However, there's still a couple kits that I'm hunting down, and one of them, it's surprise again, Dimensions. And you know what, it's another wizard. This is Scarlet Wizard by Dimensions. There was a time when I saw it on eBay for like $60. I'm like, you know what, I don't need it. Next morning I wake up, and was the first thought I thought. I'm like, what do you mean you don't need it? This kit I've never seen less than $150. Usually goes to 200, 250. It's super rare, hard to find. I ran to the eBay at 6 o'clock in the morning, and of course it was gone. I was so sad, so sad. So since that day, almost daily, I will go on eBay and I will check it and check for new listings, till finally somebody else listed again, and guess what, for $60. So for this kit, amazing price. Didn't think twice, purchased the same second that I saw it. Gorgeous, just absolutely amazing. Stitch on Black Ida. I know I keep saying I don't like it, but some projects just have to be Stitch on Black Ida. It's just absolutely amazing, gorgeous, beautiful. And even this one going to be smaller than the Sorceress and the Wizard. This one is 16 by 22. This one is 14 by 16. Oh my goodness, how ginormous she's gonna be. I wonder if they say that you need 16 by 22 piece of fabric and in order for you to fit the project inside, or it's actually gonna be the size of the project. This is ginormous compared to this one, and this is Gold Collection Dimensions. Oh my goodness. But anyway, all the details. I've never even heard about him, and then all of a sudden, at least on Russian Flosstube, Russian-speaking Flosstube, I've seen so many people stitching it, and I'm like, yep, that's it. I need it, because I've never, of course, seen it in real life, but just watching the Flosstube, these candles look so realistic. The whole dynamic, the colors are popping. It's so beautiful. I knew I have to have it. So, one more, my wish come true kit by Dimensions in my stash. I think truly the only one that left that it's impossible to find, and I keep hunting it down. It's not even by dimensions, it's so old. It's still released by Sunset. It's Urn of Magnolias. It's a beautiful magnolias with pomegranates. That one is in my top one wish, my unicorn kit that seems like for some reason I just cannot reach for it, or if I can find, I'm just not ready to spend those crazy amount of money on it. On this beautiful note, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hopefully will see you very soon with more Stitcher updates and those FFOs. And I want to also film maybe stash of Mirabilias and stash of Mill Hill. So if you're interested, please let me know in the comments. Hopefully I will see you soon next week. Happy stitching and bye!